Let's look at the factors that are considered while assessing whether there is need for internal audit or not. So, first is the cost of setting up an internal audit department compared to its benefits. If you compare the costs and benefits and then the costs are higher than the benefits, then you leave that out. But if the benefits are higher, then you consider it. Then, secondly, is the size and complexity of the entity. Like the larger and more complex the entity is, the greater there is need for an internal audit, because a larger entity will have a lot going on and it's hard to track everything. So you will have to check whether the internal controls are operating effectively and all that. Then for a small entity, for example, a small owner managed entity, like if one person owns the business and they work in it, they already know whatever is going on in their business, so there is no need for an internal audit. Then the role that would be played by the internal audit department, such as internal control reviews. If there is no department that is already performing that role, so you can consider coming up with the internal audit department. But if it's already performed by some other department, then you can ignore it. Then another factor is where the existing managers or employees who could perform these tasks and therefore reduce the need to establish a separate internal audit department. Like if there are already managers and employees performing that task, there is no need for you to perform a separate department for an internal audit. But if they are not there, then there is need for that. Then another factor is the risk of fraud. If the risk of fraud is higher in a particular entity, then there will be need for an internal audit. But if the risk of fraud is low, then there is no need. Then lastly is pressure from external stakeholders to have an internal audit. If you have pressure from external stakeholders to have an internal audit, then you do it.